Hi, I'm Brian Walters. I'm one of the managing partners at Walters Gilbreth. I've been licensed to practice law in Texas since 1996, and I'm board certified in family law. So a common question that I get is, where do I file my child custody case? And the answer is under the rules of jurisdiction. Jurisdiction just means which court's going to handle your case. We don't want a court A making one ruling and court B making a separate ruling. So we have rules about that. And the rules are basically along the lines of, well, where are the parents and the kids? If everybody's in Texas and has been in Texas, then generally the rule is, well, wherever you file a divorce, that's where the child custody case goes. Or if you're not married, it's wherever the child is. And I've even had cases where, the moms had the child in Austin and filed, and then the dad got the child for the weekend, and the dad lives in Dallas, and the dad filed the next day in Dallas or something like that. So you can actually have a situation where there's two cases open at the same time, but in that situation, the Texas courts will confer with each other, they'll figure it out, and it'll get moved to one of those two places pretty quickly. The more complicated situation, and the one that we deal with probably more than any other firm, is, well, what about what state do I file it in? And, well, that's a situation, maybe the parents and the kids moved here from Idaho or Florida or something like that, or maybe the dad and the kids moved to Texas, but the mom stayed behind in New York, or something along those lines. Or maybe everybody was in Texas and one of the parents, took off for the summer to Montana and didn't come home and won't come home. So what do we do? So there's some very specific rules under the UCCJEA, which stands for Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act, which all 50 states have passed, and they allow us to figure that out so that we don't have to have a battle of New York courts versus Texas courts or something like that. And the rules are really complicated, but basically they are on a new case where the kids have never been to court before. It's where the kids have been the past 6 months. There's some exceptions to that, but that's basically the rule. On the issue of a new case that gets reopened, so there's been a prior case and then someone goes to modify it, the usual rule is, well, that case would be where the original order was. And there's some exceptions to that as well, but those are the basic rules of it. And it's really important to know that because, of course, you don't want to hire a lawyer who files something in Oklahoma and then it turns out actually it belongs in Texas, and now you paid this lawyer in Oklahoma who's not going to refund you their fee, and now you got to hire a second lawyer in Texas, and now you spend a bunch of money and you're just getting your case started, and meanwhile the other side's got a leg up because they filed in the right place. So be real careful about that. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening to the end. You can get a hold of us by email or phone or any other number of ways.